September 4th. Happy Labor Day. I'm going to break down these games for the last 3 days. Based on the last 3 days is kind of what my analytics are based on. I usually do the analytics based on 2 weeks, a month, a bigger bigger sample size, right? Today, the first game I'm going to show you guys really quickly is Tampa Bay, which is minus 135. The predictive confidence is basically 72 over 51. That's a 21% delta. I usually like to have those over 30%, but there's not a lot of great games today, so we're taking Tampa minus 135. Why? You've got the Tampa pitcher at 7-3, which is not really the key metric. It's a 1.11 whip, which is winning at 60% for the month. Unfortunately, the pitcher from Boston also has a whip in the same range of 1.28, so both of them are in the same range. The win percentage is 60% over the last 3 days, so that's a wash. What I can tell you, if you go look a little closer at the ERAs, the ERA from the Boston pitcher is at 3.57. An ERA of 3.5 to 4.5 is hitting 29%, which is interesting. I'll tell you why in the next game. The Tampa Bay pitcher is at 2.64, which actually has a win percentage of 67% over the last 3 days. So you've got a massive difference if you want to follow these trends. A 3-day window is not a great trend metric, but there's some interesting numbers here. Home favorites. The home favorites over the last 3 days is winning 27%. Home teams that are favored are winning 1 out of 4 times. That's incredible. So the dogs have been beating the hell out of them, especially on the road. The split is at 46% on this game. That's got a 57% win percentage over the last 3 days for what it's worth. The last 10 days, you can see Boston is at 4-6. They're winning 38% of the time in that range. Teams that have been 4-6 or won 4 of the last 10 games are at 38%. Ironically, teams that are 7-3 are also winning 38% of the time exactly, which makes no sense. Look a little closer at these two teams. Tampa Bay is 45-23 at home. Boston's basically 535-33. The home team's got the advantage. They've got their best pitcher on the mound. 35% on the juice is kind of expensive, but there's not a lot of great plays today. Put a unit and a half on it, whatever you want to do, and go from there. Let me switch over to the other game, which is going to be Toronto minus 1.5. Toronto has got a predictive confidence of 62%, whereas Oakland's at 14. Oakland actually has been playing better in the last 10 games, which I'll break down in a minute. But at 48%, the predictive confidence difference is big. I'm going to put a unit and a half on this game. Barrios has a whip of 1.22, which has a 60% win percentage, whereas the Oakland pitcher, I won't try to pronounce his name, has a whip of 1.67, which has a 45% win percentage. So it's not really too bad. What's more interesting is their ERAs. The Oakland pitcher has an ERA of 5.92, which has got a 60% win percentage. So the guys with the worst ERA in the last 3 days on the road are winning, and the good pitchers that are home that are favored are losing. And Barrios would fall in this bracket. He's got a ERA of 3.7, which is a mid-range metric. They're winning 29% of the time. Toronto isn't a away favorite. Away favorites are hitting 48% over the last 3 days over the weekend. 82% of the split is at 44%, so the heavy public plays are not doing great. They're less than 50%. Look at the home road records. Basically, Toronto's 8 games over 500, and Oakland at home's 22 games under 200. So, it is what it is. Both teams are 5-5 and 6-4. That falls in the same range on the last 10, and basically 65%. So we're taking Toronto for a unit and a half. We're taking Tampa Bay for a unit and a half, and that's the plays for today. So anyway, folks, have a great Labor Day weekend. We have a podcast on Wednesday night, which is pretty cool. We're going to start crushing it on football. That's our best sport. We've always done really well on NFL. So we're going to make some money on Thursday night on the Kansas City game. I'll break that down for you probably Wednesday night. I'll be at the game on Thursday in Kansas City. So go Chiefs. Have a good weekend. Have a good Labor Day. Bye.